Indonesian government plans to transform Morotai Island into a special economic zone housing, an international harbor and an airport with the aim of creating a regional transport center. The government has urged all sectors to support the government's plan by inviting more investments to Morotai. You're watching Economic Buzz, one talk show that brings you all business matters and policies, the economic issues, and analyze the Indonesian market to help you to make the right step for your capital investment. For you, international business people in Singapore and Indonesia, I'm Erwin Suryabrata. Let's talk about your business on eBuzz. The development of Morotai has the full support of the central government and the private sector, one of which is Jababeka, the company that owns and manages Southeast Asia's largest industrial estate in Cikarang, south of Jakarta. It is believed the support from Jababeka could provide the initial momentum that saw capital from Western Indonesia to enter Morotai. The Indonesian government plans to transform Morotai Island into a special economic zone housing, an international harbor and an airport with the aim of creating a regional transport center. The local government of Morotai has also urged all sectors to support the government plan by inviting more investments to Morotai. Morotai is located in the Halmahera group of eastern Indonesia's Maluku Islands. Most of the island's interior is rugged and covered in thick jungle. With abundant fishery resources and a well-preserved coral reef ecology, the island is regarded as a good place to develop the logistics and tourism businesses. Indonesian government has designated Morotai as a model of maritime development that will help to accelerate economic area development basis on marine and fisheries. The Morotai Island water is vast, consisting of 160 different fish species of significant economic value that allows 31 business sectors to thrive and produce hundreds of tons of fish per year. The development of Morotai has the full support of the central government and the private sector, one of which is Jababeka, the company that owns and manages Southeast Asia's largest industrial estate in Cikarang, south of Jakarta. It is believed that the support from Jababeka could provide the initial momentum that saw capital from Western Indonesia to enter Morotai. For the time being, Jababeka built cottages and infrastructure facilities so investors from Taiwan were able to survey Morotai. Indonesia and Taiwan will jointly outline and implement blueprints to develop Morotai's forest resources, fish farming and eco-tourism. The local government ensures that they will support all investors that come to Morotai. With the support of the central government, they plan to build better roads, electrical facilities and harbors, and also set up logistics services, airports and other means to attract investors. The regulations for sure will be made as well to make investors convenient to the business in Morotai. From several resources, MNC Business Report for Economic Buzz. And to have a deeper view about optimizing the business and economic potency in Eastern Indonesia, we have Mr. Setiono Juandi Darmono. He's the President Director of Jababeka. Mr. Darmono, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. As we can see, very encouraging pictures of Morotai. We have another, what do you call this, natural attraction as well from eastern part of Indonesia. Mr. Darmono, I would like to ask you first, maybe you can share in terms of supporting the visual footage we just provide to our business viewer. Tell us about Morotai Island.
Well, Morotai is a hidden jewel. It's located very strategically at the northern tips of East Indonesia. The distance of Morotai from Jakarta is 2,500 kilometers. And from Morotai to Taiwan is 2,600 kilometers. So it's almost the same distance. So this could be the place where we can build another Singapore as the hub of East Indonesia. So this we must have this kind of dream to be able to speed up the progress of the development of East Indonesia economy. Because at the moment, the problem with the development in East of Indonesia is the lack of transportation. Goods must be transported from East Indonesia to Surabaya, Jakarta, Singapore, and then go back to Japan, Korea, China, and so on. So this is very expensive. Similarly, if we import goods for the eastern part of Indonesia via Jakarta again, then the cost of the goods or the price of goods in east of Indonesia could be 3-4 times in Jakarta.
Skyrocketed. Sometimes it could be so unbelievable, right? You said it could be the next hub of Indonesia, just like Singapore. What's behind your confidence? Because we talk about Eastern Indonesia. Why would we have to build or establish a hub in Eastern Indonesia in the first place? Not many people are giving their attention there in Eastern Indonesia.
To explain it in a simple way, is like if our villagers want to sell their goods, they have to go to the market. Most of our small towns in Indonesia, the villagers probably will go to the Chinatown.
Right.
And then they can buy and sell, they buy their products, sell their buy the goods they need, and then they can sell their products in the Chinatown. So similarly now, on the eastern part or western part of Indonesia, if we want to do business, we use Singapore as our Chinatown. So the eastern part of Indonesia, we don't have this luxury.
All right, Mr. Darmono, if you don't mind, maybe you can hold on here. We are going to continue after this one, sir.
Sure.
Very good start. Make sure you are still with us on Economic Buzz. We are discussing about optimizing the business and economic potency in Eastern Indonesia. We would like to greet you people in Singapore. You're on Economic Buzz, the English talk show program that outlook the economic issue for your business. You can also watch this program via live streaming on okzone.tv and sidonews.com. We are still talking about optimizing the business and economic potency in Eastern Indonesia. We have Mr. Setiono Juandi Darmono, the President Director of Jababeka. Another major questions remaining, always like this, Mr. Darmono. Why Eastern Indonesia? You also representing as the President Director of Jababeka. Do you think now there is, what do you call this, increasing, shifting preference for business people to go toward Eastern Indonesia?
Well, not really. Because of the difficulty or lack of infrastructures in east of Indonesia. We have got our independence for 68 years.
Right.
But the eastern part of Indonesia is still very much behind. So in order to develop east of Indonesia, which is actually very rich with natural resources, not talking about the ocean potential as well, I think we need to have something which can speed up this economic development. So east of Indonesia has got so many potentials to be explored.
What will be the best strategy when we are talking about speeding up the development of the Eastern Indonesia, while some of the business people, they are still in quote-unquote reluctant because it will cost them a lot of fortune. So they say, if I do investment in Eastern Indonesia, at least are there any, what do you call this, strategy in speeding up this kind of development in economic aspect and business?
Well, how can we improve the connectivity? How can we improve the accessibility? How can we make sure that investors, when they go to east of Indonesia, they can get good services, first class.
The ease of doing business, you are saying?
Yes, the ease of doing business, the certainty of doing business, and conveniences, like what they can enjoy if they go to Singapore, for example. Right? Singapore becomes a very convenient place for people to do business. But Singapore doesn't have natural resources. Singapore rely on Sumatra, Java, Kalimantan, or Malaysia, and so on, in terms of natural resources. But Singapore become the supermarket for us, for Indonesia, and also become a place where we can send our children for education. We can go there also to invest, buying apartment which the price keep going up. Right?
I believe you keep pleasing up the Singaporean business viewer this evening by giving them a lot of credit. But we must acknowledge this, right? At least there is something we can learn from Singapore. I'm attracted with your word hidden jewel, meaning that actually the potential in Morotai has already been there, either from the economic aspect, tourism, etc. But why now? Do you think that this is the best timing? Why not much earlier people pay attention or share the proportional attention to Eastern Indonesia, especially in Morotai Island? Historically, it is well known already.
Yes, but I think we've been busy, possibly, with many other things in Indonesia. And of course, we cannot develop 17,000 islands all at the same time. We must have priority. And of course, first, the priority was developing around Jakarta. West Java especially developed very well. Then, of course, we go to Sumatra, and then the other areas. Then somehow, east of Indonesia is left behind. Of course, Makassar is also a very good trading port, also developed very fast now. But other area, the northern part, the north of Maluku, Irian, it's still, I think, still left behind. I think we need to do a lot of things to improve the area. And again, the problem is connectivity, accessibility in terms of transportation, both for import and export. And then, of course, about education, healthcare, which also must be improved. But first, we must have a small development, small but excellent.
I see.
And fast.
Small development, which one needs to be prioritized when you expect for at least small development for the pilot project?
Development in Morotai, which is a small island. For Indonesia, it's a small island. For Singaporean, this is 4 times bigger than Singapore. But for Indonesia, this is just one of our 17,000 island. And the inhabitants only 50,000 in Morotai. So this is, for us, we can collaborate with many investors or with one country to develop that area into something which is of world-class standard.
So we can expect international
but if we try to do too much, like in bigger island, it costs us too much.
You're implying that we need to focus and concentrate on several projects first.
Yes, start small and move fast.
Very strong and encouraging word. Mr. Darmono, I noticed that several times you used the word interconnectivity. You remind me of our government mega project, economic acceleration, called MP3EI. Can we rely on this mega project that one day interconnectivity also can be realized and established, reaching to eastern part of Indonesia, especially in Morotai? How is it progressing now when we talk about MP3EI or economic acceleration by our government?
Well, I think government is trying to do many things to implement that MP3EI. And one of them is exactly this Morotai project. How we can make the connectivity, the interconnectivity in the eastern part of Indonesia successful. So, again, Morotai is a small island, it's easy to manage, and there are already 7 runways built by General MacArthur during the Second World War. And when it was used by the Allied for the base of their military, as a military base for during Second World War, they must have chosen a very good strategic island for their logistic. So the harbor must be good. I mean, the condition of this must be deep sea, and also the island must have been surveyed that this will be able to be used as the logistic center for military.
So tracing back from the history, actually a lot of reasons can tell or explain why Morotai Island can be said or classified as the most strategic island in terms of location. Mr. Darmono, we still have another segment to discuss about this.
Sure.
More on the discussion about optimizing the business and economic potency in Eastern Indonesia will be brought to you soon. Stay with us on Economic Buzz. Yeah, this is another promotion profile. Back on Economic Buzz, this program can also be seen through StarHub Asia Channel 121 Singapore and live streaming on okzon.tv. With me, Erwin Suryabrata. We still have Mr. Setiono Juandi Darmono, the President Director of Jababeka. Mr. Darmono, I'm still curious about MP3EI. Many business people, either Indonesian and also the foreign investors, they put a lot of expectation toward this mega project, at least based on your view, the first time you have a plan in expanding the business to Morotai. Have you seen, are there any feasible progress when we talk about the interconnectivity development there in Morotai? Let's talk about infrastructure support.
Well, the government has spent money in Morotai to improve the harbor, to build a road around Morotai Island. And also the Ministry of Health has also committed to build a hospital there. And then there is already a university there, which is also supported by the Ministry of Education. And Sales Morotai was conducted last year. So government spent a lot of money already in promoting, in building infrastructure in Morotai. But we need to do more.
We need to do more.
Yes.
What will be the best effective promotion this country need to do when we talk about business environment in terms of making the investor at least seeing Morotai and they can see a lot of hidden potential?
Well, make it Morotai so attractive for people to do business by giving all kind of incentives, tax incentive here, tax incentive there. Then I think people will want to go there because potentially it is great, it's so big to be developed. But at the beginning, people are always worried because the pioneers will lose money at the beginning.
Really?
Yeah, so they need a lot of incentive.
Sorry to interrupt you. How big will the risk factor when we talk about the business losses there? Because we need to speculate this and that the first time we expand the business there.
Yeah, for example, if I want to start an industrial estate in Morotai, then who will want to build a factory in Morotai? Because there is no, there is not enough shipment to go to Morotai yet, and out or in, still it's not available. There are small boats, but not the big vessel to bring the goods in and out. So if I want to build an industrial estate there, then government must give me, say, what, 100 years of what they call land use, for example, and then don't have to pay tax. It has to be a free zone so that people can import goods without having to pay tax, export goods without having to pay tax, and government do not lose anything because there is no tax collection at the moment anyway. Instead, government have been subsidizing all the time this island. But if now it's turned out to be something like that, then at least people will get jobs in Morotai, and the surrounding islands will enjoy the traffic of the goods being transported to via Morotai to and from the islands via Morotai to go to Korea, Japan, China, Taiwan, and so on. So this is like when Singapore was also developed in the 60s. Everything was free there. So people came to Singapore to invest. And Indonesian also went to Singapore to invest. But nowadays Singapore is very expensive. Yeah. But
in short, they know how to start.
Yeah,
when we talk about attracting the investors.
Yes.
For the conclusion, if I may rephrase my question, on your view as the business people, what kind of business conducivity or supportive business climate that we can expect within the context of Morotai Island? Because I believe different regions in Indonesia, they have different approach.
Yes. Well, first make the area as a one-stop service island, so that people dare to take the risk, because the certainty of law is there, the convenience to do business is there, the services are good and not complicated. It's one-stop service. And we have a new law, which is the special economic zone law. So the area can be made into like a special authority zone.
I see. Getting much more interesting. I'm afraid we must go for the other commercial break, Mr. Darmono.
Sure.
Make sure you are still with us on Economic Buzz. We are going to talk more about optimizing the business and economic potency in Eastern Indonesia. Stay tuned. You are still with us on Economic Buzz. We still bring our discussion about optimizing the business and economic potential in Eastern Indonesia. Mr. Setyono Juandi Darmono, you happen to be here as the President Director of Jababeka. Let's talk about business. Well, as the President Director of Jababeka, I've been wondering why Jababeka start expanding its business area on the eastern part of Indonesia in the first place, because so far you're focusing in Java Island and also major cities.
Well, Java is too crowded now.
Too many players sometimes?
Too many players, and also around Jakarta now, since the traffic is getting bad, and also the wages have gone up. So investors have been asking us, well, can you find alternatives? Where else can they go, where they can find places where the labor cost is not as increased drastically like in Jababeka area? Because not everybody can afford to pay salary increase like 30–40% every year. And we still need actually factories which create a lot of works, like a lot of jobs. We need still labor-intensive factories, for example, garment, shoe factories, electronic. Of course, the minimum wage must be fulfilled. But on the other hand, Indonesia, the government still need to create more jobs for our people. On the other hand, companies say, no, if that's it, a sort of wages we cannot afford. We have to go to other countries. And our country is so large. It's not only Jababeka, not only West Java. So why don't we expand to other areas? For example, now we have started our project in Central Java, in Kendal, with Sembawang Corporation from Singapore. The minimum wage in Central Java is less than half than Jababeka. So we are still hungry.
Less than half of
Less than half, yeah. It's only 950,000 rupiah per month, while in Jakarta is 2.2 million rupiah per month. I come from Central Java, and my colleagues have been complaining, why you keep building industrial estate in West Java? Why not also in your own hometown? So I thought, yes, I have to do something. So we started in Kendal now, and we have been able to invite Sembawang Corporation, also very big company in industrial estate development.
I believe this is also one of the biggest achievements of PT Jababeka, that you are given the trust from the government, our regulators, to develop a project there in Morotai. Maybe you can share a little with us about the background of the idea from our regulators in holding the private sectors in developing the Morotai, and why they give a trust to Jababeka in the first place, the first time they start having this kind of big grand design of the project in Morotai.
Well, first I was approached by Minister of Fishery, Menteri Kelautan, by the time Pak Fadel Muhammad, and he asked me to help how we can develop Morotai, because Jababeka was seen as the most experienced industrial estate developer, and I was also challenged with that sort of what do you call it, offer or request that how we can help to develop east of Indonesia. Although originally the idea was to develop Morotai as the fishing port, as the center for the fishery development in the fishing area. But I thought we can do better than that, because we need to improve the connectivity in the eastern part of Indonesia.
All right, Mr. Darmono, we still have another segment to discuss about this more.
Sure.
Economic Buzz will be back soon with more view from Mr. Setiono Juandi Darmono. He is the President Director of Jababeka. We will be right back. You're watching Economic Buzz. We still have Mr. Setiono Juandi Darmono, the President Director of PT Jababeka, TBK, to share his view over the topic that we bring up in this talk show. Many potentials there, hidden, the unhidden, and what can be said as the visible potential. But how Jababeka then look at Morotai as the market potential, which needs to be focused? Because so far Jababeka always focused on the industrial estate establishment. In Morotai context, which one needs to be prioritized? From the maritime potential, business, tourism, or which one, sir?
Well, the industrial estate will be our priority. And we have to start with an industrial estate to begin with. Because industrial estates create jobs through building the factories, and it gives a good training to the people, so that they become industrious. And why industrial estate in Morotai to begin with? Because if our government give tax incentives, in this case to investors, say from Taiwan, then they would want to manufacture their goods in Morotai. Perhaps initially it was just assembling, and then the local content can be increased, say up to 40%, then they can export to the ASEAN countries. At the moment, Indonesia and Taiwan do not have any FTA or free trade agreement, because Indonesia recognizes only one China, or there is a one China policy. So this is one way where we can have Taiwanese investors coming to Morotai, and they will enjoy a kind of facilities for FTA. So this means that industrial estate will be very important to start with. Perhaps acting at the beginning like a warehouse for assembling, for repackaging, and so on and so on. But then slowly increase the local content. So by doing this, then number of factories will go up, and number of workers will go up, and then we can have the snowballing effect, which is people will need housing, people will need hotels, people will need a golf course, people will need a hospital, university, and so on and so on.
Can be predicted going that way,
Which how Singapore was developed in the 50s, 60s. Started with Jurong Town Industrial, Jurong Industrial Estate.
So you believe that industrial estate must be done for the first, let's say, as the pioneer and the pilot project as well. Put it into list, Mr. Darmono. What challenges are faced by the business and industrial sector there in Eastern Indonesia, especially in Morotai, the first time you expanding and also opening up the business opportunity there?
Sorry.
The challenges, the main challenges, apart from the ease of doing business, regulatory framework, etc.
Well, first we must have the trust from the investors who want to what we call to business in Morotai. And for this, we must again offer something which is so attractive, and this needs government commitment. So we are now working very hard with our Minister of Coordinating Minister of Economy, the Deputy Pa Rizal Lokman, very good man. He's very passionate with this project. So we have formed a committee to prepare for the special economic zones. We talk with the Taiwan Economic Trade Office in Jakarta. We go also to Taiwan to talk with business people there. So this one is the first challenge, how to convince people to get their trust. Once we got the trust, then the rest will be easy.
As an old saying says, trust matters most, right? Well, speaking about government, let's use this as part of the constructive input and advice to the regulator as well, how the government could support these projects that Jababeka is going to start up with.
Well, the government must give incentives, and the incentives can be given through the special economic zones. And special economic zones will involve all level of governments, from Bupati, governor to central government. And there will be involvement with every departments of the ministries. So this means that a strong commitment can be demonstrated to the investors that Indonesian government is really very serious in providing the best services in Morotai.
How tough could it be when we try to put it into time frame, when we talk about the target? Because the investors need to know the feasible progress. Like, should we also offer them, this is the range of the time frame that we can offer, that we can reach and realize the target that we built together?
Well, we've been working on it for the last 3 years. So we hope that this October, the special economic status will be granted. We have signed an MOUs with several, with the Taiwanese trade office, and we just have to move now with our program. And with October we have the special economic status. Then we should have our joint venture agreement also by the end of this year. Say around October, November, we sign an agreement with a Taiwanese investor in Taipei. Then I think the ball start rolling.
On the global scale, how do you think nowadays the market look at Morotai Island? apart from the way we do the promotion to them, we talk about the foreign business people as well. How do you think the global market look at Morotai? Is it slowly and gradually already been heard now by the global market when we talk about its strategic location on the global scale? So
I don't think many people know about Morotai yet. So when we talk about the global market, but I think they will see the real potential later on, because it's not about Morotai, it's about east of Indonesia. It's the gateway to the east of Indonesia. And east of Indonesia, everybody knows that Papua is very rich island.
Yeah.
Kalimantan is very rich island.
Fully blessed either from its natural resources and the location as well.
Right.
We still have one more segment. Let's talk about Jababeka and your strategic partnership with Taiwan after this one.
Okay.
Make sure you are still with us. We still have one more segment on eBus talking about optimizing the business and economic potency in Eastern Indonesia. We have reached our last segment talking about optimizing the business and economic potency in Eastern Indonesia, and we're going to have another view from Mr. Setiono Juandi Darmono. He's the President Director of PT Jababeka Tbk to conclude his view toward our topic. This is always becoming our favorite question. What are the advantages and benefits? Because we talk about mutual complementary relations as well, right, with our foreign investors. Why Taiwan choose Morotai Island as their investment destination? Why Indonesia, Jababeka in this case, choosing Taiwan as the strategic partner? Let's share again about this, Mr. Darmono.
Yeah, we choose Taiwan because Taiwan is possibly the manufacturing country with high technology, which is nearest to Morotai. And there was a history also that one Japanese soldier during the Second World War, he was found in 1970s, and actually he was a Taiwanese. So there was this connection. And then Morotai itself, if you use Javanese word Moro means welcome. Yeah. Taiwan, so welcome Taiwan. Right?
There is a philosophy behind the name value.
Yeah, but strategically, it's only 2.5 hours by flight to Taipei. So in terms of connectivity, this is so attractive. And also, a lot of manufacturing companies in Taiwan, they need to have also new manufacturing base, because in China now become so, the labors become also expensive. So a lot of companies in Taiwan are trying to move out to find new locations. And Morotai will be ideal because of its proximity, and also because if it is a special economic zone with all kinds of incentives, it's become very attractive and so near. You can have lunch in Morotai for Taiwanese to come having lunch and then go back to Taiwan.
That would be amazing.
Because it's a very short distance.
But there are possibilities to open up another strategic partnership with the other foreign investors.
Of course,
Taiwan,
of course. But we need the locomotive to begin with. Yeah. And who will be interested? This is the idea that we need each other. For this particular island, Morotai, we think Taiwan will be the best country to be approached for the business people to invest there.
I believe many business people also start questioning this when we talk about, they're afraid that this is going to be euphoria, the utopic short dream about having or learning something from Singapore and try to apply it here. What strategic business plan at least will be taken by Jababeka in ensuring that the projects will be right targeted and go in place? Because in the end, when we talk about business, we talk about sustainability for the longer run.
Well, again, I'm coming back to the certainty of law, security, the convenience of doing business. So an island is easy to protect, right, from the outside disturbance. Now, if we do something like in Java, we cannot have a gate around the industrial estate. But if we do it in an island, it's a natural, what we call natural fence. So this one is is very ideal. And with the law we have now, special economic zone, it can be made like Batam a long time ago, a special, what do you call it, autonomic zones.
Yeah.
So this kind of thing will make people feel confident, secure to do business. And then on top of that, if we can give a special incentive like the land certificate is longer than normal, and then tax incentive is so attractive, so people want to do something like this when the guarantee is strong. The law is clear, the legal aspect has been addressed, and people are allowed to do something there and feeling at home like at their own country.
All right. Before we close up our talk show, making it short, what are your biggest expectation toward this project in Morotai Island from Jababeka, Mr. Darmono?
Well, my big expectation is that this can become our most important project, that it becomes the jewel of East of Indonesia. It become what we call another milestone, and perhaps after doing Morotai project, we can do in many other islands, not only Indonesia, but other area which needs our expertise, our what they call our involvement, because it's good to create jobs, to make the area becomes what you call a nice place to live. Environmentally good.
The key defining factors why Jababeka are so much interesting in joining this project in Morotai Island. Mr. Setiono Juandi Darmono, the President Director of PT Jababeka Tbk, thank you so much. Really appreciate for your time. Best luck for your project with Jababeka and also Taiwan Cooperation. Thank you so much. Let's wrap up our talk show for this time. Hope to have you soon in the next Economic Buzz with other issues to bring up in the discussion. I'm Erwin Suryabrata, wishing you best luck in doing your business today. Let's talk about your business in eBus only on MNC Business, the first business channel in Indonesia.